What got you here won't get you there. Have you ever wondered why you stopped feeling motivated to do something you once couldn't wait to do? Everyone has been there. They go to the gym for the first time, they start something new, a new diet, a new routine, and they start crushing it. They are motivated to make a change that they vowed to themselves they would make. And we all wish the story would end right there. We wish it was happily ever after, easy peasy, but it isn't. It never is. You plateau. It gets harder. You stop making progress. Why? Well, that is going to be the topic of today's episode of the Grateful Podcast.
The Grateful Podcast with Jack Wagoner presents. Subscribe.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm super excited for today's episode because it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently. For those of you who do not know, my name is Jack Wagoner and I'm the host of the Grateful Podcast. Every Monday, I do a solo episode where I go over something I've been thinking about over the past week or two, and I really dive deep into that and how you guys can learn from what I'm doing and the mistakes that I'm making in my life. Every Wednesday and every Saturday, I bring on a guest speaker who has had experience with something or another, who just has an interesting perspective to share on life. The main message of this podcast is what I've entitled The Duality of Gratitude and Ambition, where you can go after something bigger and better while also being grateful for what you have. And we're going to get into that in deep later in today's episode. These Monday episodes are pretty short, so they're just a little lesson that I've been thinking about. And I don't want to be rambling on for too long because I know you guys prefer to listen to my guests. I'm just an 18-year-old. I know nothing. So something that I've been thinking about recently is that just because something got you to a certain point, it doesn't mean it can get you any further. What I was talking about earlier, that honeymoon phase, I'd like to say, where we feel that spark in something and we really feel motivated to keep doing it because we're seeing tangible progress. It only lasts for so long, and it's applicable to almost everything in life. The thing that I see it most applicable in is rock climbing. I'm a rock climbing instructor. I'm a rock climber, and I think this goes hand in hand with the gym. And for all you non-climbers listening, do not worry. This is applicable, I swear. When people come into the gym, they get hooked. They start improving rapidly at the beginning. They move up one V grade almost every week, which is a big deal, a very big deal, until it just stops. The new climbers plateau. Why does this happen? Well, there is a whole multitude of reasons, many of which are completely unrelated to this topic, many of which you would not like me to dive into. If you would like to hear me dive into those, you can go hit the link in the description below, or right here if I remember to put it up there, where I talk about that stuff with a rock climber himself, Ben Mills, on one of the earliest episodes of the show. So back to it. One of these reasons that people plateau in rock climbing that is applicable is that many new climbers realize they can improve how they climb with pure raw strength. People that have come into the gym and they are coming to the climbing gym from the weight room and they're really strong. This was with me. Like, you think that you can improve by just being strong. You start trying to muscle your way through everything, and it starts to work. You start to climb harder boulders, harder grades, and get better. But this only works up to a certain point. At some point, you can't muscle your way through everything. You need to develop technique and spend time to get better. You need to change, in other words, what you've been doing in the past that led to success to lead to more success. I guess this goes with the 2-step backwards, 1 step forward thing. You need to sacrifice what you've been doing in order to actually improve. This is applicable to anything in your life. In self-improvement or anywhere else, these same principles are present. You cannot expect to get what, I'm sorry, been a long day. You cannot expect what got you to where you are to get you to another spot that you want to go. You can't expect it to get you any further than it has. For example, and this happens all the time, let's say you just raw David Goggins and motivationed your way to success, right? You pushed yourself to get up at 4 a.m. to work out before you spend 3 hours on your side hustle, before you go to work, before you come back home and then work on your side hustle again. And then when you're done with that, you work out again. I don't know. It sounds crazy, right? But I know people have done it, and they do succeed. If they push themselves that hard for long enough, a lot of times they do succeed. Now that you've succeeded, it would be dumb to think that you still have to do the exact same thing to improve yourself anymore. Let's say you did all that and now you're looking for some self-fulfillment or happiness to fill the gap of self-hatred and loneliness that you feel in spite of your success. It would be stupid to think that you need to do that, push yourself way beyond your limits again to reach that new level of fulfillment. When I say it like that, it seems obvious, but what I explained is not rare. So many people think that because they got themselves to where they are through this unbalanced fuck you mindset, that they should keep doing that to get themselves any further. In reality, they're just digging themselves into a massive hole, a massive cycle of feeling unworthy of real balance and fulfillment. I want you to let that sink in. There are so many people that have achieved some sort of success by just pushing harder and further than they ever thought they could. They worked themselves to the bone. And so they think, because I achieved the success of working myself to the bone in an unhealthy way, I think that's how I should continue to live my life if I want to see any more tangible success. No. And that is why I created the Grateful Podcast, for people like this, to solve this problem. We need to find something we're grateful for, and even if it's just one small thing, to root us back into what we love and appreciate about the world and about ourselves, because our self-belief and our relationship with ourselves reflects our relationship with the world. It reflects the way we look at the world. If we can find things to love and appreciate in the world, we will find things to love and appreciate in ourselves. And I'm not advocating for mantras of self-love and acceptance. Sure, maybe they work for some people, but personally, I understand the place that pushing yourself and being hard on yourself has. I know that has a time and a place, but what you have to remember is it's useful in some cases, not all. Just because it works sometimes in getting you what you want doesn't mean that it should be your go-to solution for all problems. In many cases, it will fail. In many cases, you'll plateau because that thing that got you to where you are right now will not get you to where you want to go. You need to readjust. You need to call an audible. You need to switch it up. If you want to succeed, you cannot let your previous success blind you to the future. I was just listening to Chris Williamson on Modern Wisdom talk about something so similar to this. He had on an amazing psychologist, I'm forgetting her name, but She was talking about how so many successful people are struggling. So many people of great success, so many people that we admire, have done nothing but the work that from the outside we see as admirable. So many successful people, we admire them, right? Because what they've spent their entire lives doing, they've devoted their entire lives to creating a life in which that we admire. They've created this life that we want to live. They've created this image of themselves that we think is amazing. And yet what they've neglected throughout this entire process is feeling fulfilled, feeling worthy of love. This psychologist on Chris's podcast was starting to argue that maybe success isn't even worth it because of this price that you pay. You work so hard for something that makes everyone but yourself feel proud of you. That is so sad to me. That is so sad. And you continue to dig yourself in a hole because it seems like the only real success in your life that you can cling on to, this thing that other people have told you you're doing well. Because those are the only people that you feel like are giving you that sense of love and acceptance that you want, but it's not what you're actually craving, which is it from yourself. It's a crazy concept. It's a crazy world we live in where those are the people that have created this illusion are the ones that everyone wants to be like. They're the ones that everyone strives to become. When are we going to live in a world where people strive to become monks? People strive to have inner peace in, I guess, the 60s. That didn't work so well either. I don't know, it just seems absolutely messed up to me that our entire culture is built on the admiration of people who don't even admire themselves. How does that work? And how can we fix that? I think a lot of it comes with just gratitude. It comes with being grateful for what you have. Understanding that, yes, it's okay to want more. It's okay to strive for more. But it's also okay to love what you have right now. You don't need more. You want it. When you're okay with failure, maybe maybe you don't have your back against the wall. But maybe that allows you to enjoy the journey a little bit more. If you're grateful for what you have right now, if you say, I love my life, everything I have, love it, right? I also I want more. I want to keep pushing myself. I want to see what I can do. This is how I feel right now. I love my life. Love everything about it. Love my friends, love my family, love my everyday and love everything I do on a day-to-day basis. But I want more. I feel like I just want to see what I can do. I don't have any immediate need for success and that my entire existence is contingent upon. I don't need that. I don't have the David Goggins, like, success or die type mindset. I know it's not his actual mindset, but it feels like it sometimes. I'm not, this is no slander at David Goggins either. I respect him. He helped me immensely. Just again, not anymore. But I'm able to enjoy the journey more because I'm not so hyper focused and tunnel visioned on the outcome. I don't need the outcome. I want the outcome. I don't need the outcome. But because I don't need the outcome, I love the journey. It's okay to savor it. If everyone could think like that, I think the world we live in would be much better. If everyone could say, yeah, I don't need to push myself this hard until I feel like I have no purpose in this world, just to be like these people I see on the screen that seem like they're living a happy life, even though you don't know that. She could just say, yeah, I love my life right now, but I'd like to see what I can do, see if I can make this thing happen, make this dream come true. But, this one thing in my life I can really appreciate. So, like, it's not life or death, but I just want to try and see what I can do. It would turn out so much better. I don't have anything else to say. I think that's all there is. If you enjoyed this, please, please, please send it to someone that you think needs it or would like it. That's my goal. I want as many people that need to hear this to hear it as possible. I want to help people with that mindset because to a lesser extreme, I know what it feels like. Alright. I have an amazing episode coming out this Wednesday with Jonathan Goodman, the author of The Obvious Choice, where I'll be giving away 2 copies of his book. Please go watch that episode when it comes out and tell me what you think. Thank you so much. Have a great, great week.